Hello and welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Jae, live from Seoul. Our top story this morning, the first polls are closing in the U.S. presidential election. It shouldn't be that long until we know whether it'll be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump in the White House come January. With the latest, we have our Kim Mo-gyun on the line. Mo-gyun, both the leading candidates have already voted. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, Jihae. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump cast their ballots at separate polling stations in New York City. Clinton was greeted by flashing cameras at a school in Chappaqua, where she voted with her husband, former President Bill Clinton. Let's take a look at what she had to say as she left.
It is the most humbling feeling, Dan, because, I know how much responsibility goes with this, and so many people are counting on the outcome of this election, what it means for our country, and I'll do the very best I can if I'm fortunate enough to win today.
Hours later, Trump arrived at his designated polling site in an elementary school in Manhattan. He looked confident, saying he felt great and wanted to win.
I'm not nervous. I'm very excited. It's a great opportunity. There's tremendous enthusiasm from everybody. You see it all over the country, all over the world. It's been a great feeling. Well, we want to win. We do want to win. I'm trying.
And Mo-gyun, we hear that a preliminary round of national exit polls have shown what's on the minds of the American public.
Well, according to U.S. media outlets, many voters were looking for a candidate who can bring change. When asked what is the most important quality of a candidate, 38% of the respondents said they want someone who can bring about needed change, followed by 22% who said they prefer someone who has the right experience, and another 22% who voted for good judgment skills. 15% said that they want someone who cares about people.
So with voting still ongoing in most places, do we know any early results at all?
Well, some eastern villages and small towns have already declared their winners because they were permitted to open their polls at midnight and close them after all registered voters had cast their ballots. Voters in Ditsville Notch, a tiny village in New Hampshire, voted in favor of Clinton, who garnered 4 votes to Trump's 2. In Millsfield, a small town in the same state, Trump got 16 votes to Clinton's 4. On the Pacific island of Guam, Clinton took nearly 72% of the territory's votes, while Trump took 24%. Although all voters here are American citizens, their votes in the presidential race do not count because Guam has no representation in the Electoral College.
And when will we be able to know who has won the election?
The final result should become much clearer from around 1 p.m. Korea time, around 4 to 5 hours from now. Polls have just closed at this hour in some eastern states, including Indiana and Kentucky. Within the next hour, polls will also close in Georgia, South Carolina, and the major swing states of Florida, New Hampshire, and Virginia. By around 10 a.m. Korea time, state projections will be available in most states, as enough states will have finished voting to make up at least half of the 538 votes in the Electoral College. To win this year's presidential race, a candidate must be able to secure a 270 majority of the votes. Back to you, Jihae.
All right, we will be looking forward to the election results. Thanks for that, Mo-gyun. We appreciate it. Now over to the latest on the abuse of power scandal here in Korea. The leaderships of the main and minor opposition parties will meet this morning to discuss ways to resolve the scandal that has crippled state affairs. They're expected to try and unify their stance over President Park Geun-hye's proposal to give the prime minister governing authority. They're also expected to urge the president once again to withdraw from the ruling party. Making a fresh bid to get state affairs running, President Park said Tuesday that she will give the National Assembly the option to propose its own candidate for the post of prime minister. The opposition bloc, however, lashed out at the president, doubting her sincerity to resolve the scandal. The ruling Saenuri Party called it a starting point to overcome the crisis. Turning to the latest on the ongoing probe into this unprecedented abuse of power scandal overnight, state prosecutors questioned music video director Chow Taek, who has close ties with Choi Soon-sil for around 4 hours. He's currently being held in a jail cell. Chow was arrested upon his arrival at Incheon International Airport last night. He had been staying in China since the scandal broke. Speaking to reporters at the airport, Ta said he was sorry for causing such a stir and vowed to reveal everything during the prosecutor's investigation. He also admitted to knowing former key presidential secretary An Jong-bum, but denied to answer questions over his ties to Choi Soon-sil, who is a close friend of President Park Geun-hye. South Korea and Japan are inching closer to forging a bilateral military intelligence sharing pact aimed at better countering North Korea's nuclear threats. They will hold their second round of working-level talks on the matter in Seoul on Wednesday to discuss signing the General Security of Military Information Agreement. They came close to inking the pact 4 years ago, but the final signing was aborted due to negative public sentiment in South Korea. However, the two sides announced they were reopening talks late last month. The first meeting was held in Tokyo on November 1st. The pact will enable the two to formulate a more effective response to North Korea's growing threats. And that brings us to the end of our newscast. Thank you for watching. I'm Hwang Jie. Do join us again at 10 a.m. Korea time for more with Mark Broom, and goodbye.